Hi, in this video I want to show you some of the basic exercises for pelvic floor and core strengthening. Who this is perfect for is somebody who has just had a baby. If they feel like their core and their pelvic floor is weak, that would be a perfect time to do these exercises. Also, if anybody's having some leaking and feels like there's some heaviness in their pelvic floor where it just isn't able to support them, then these exercises are great to start to work on connecting your pelvic floor to your core and making it all work together and start building up the strength again. So first, I just want to talk a little bit about the core. And the pelvic floor is the bottom of the core. And so your core of your body, if you think of it like a soda can, where you want to have pressure on all sides of it, so that whenever you have a force, like if you're trying to lift something heavy, that all sides of the can is tight, so there's no area where the pressure can escape. So your pelvic floor is the bottom, your abs in the front and your muscles in your back kind of make the middle of the can, and then the top of the can is your diaphragm, so that's your breathing. So we're going to use that, engaging all aspects of that core in order to do these exercises. So first I'm going to teach you the abdominal brace, and then I'm going to show you 5 different exercises to do with the abdominal brace. So let's go ahead and lay down on your back. So for the abdominal brace, there's 3 actions that you're going to combine with your breath. So first, I want you to press the small of your back down into the mat or through the ground. So you see it's called a posterior pelvic tilt. You're just going to flatten your back, just like that, okay? So once your back is flat, then I want you to pull your hips together. Now, what I mean by that is they're not going to actually move, but you're going to pretend there's a string attached from one side to the other, from one ASIS to the other. And what you're going to do is you're going to try to close that, shorten that string. So you're just going to pull those together. And when you pull those together, you should feel the muscles in your belly tighten up. Another way you can do this is if you make a strong sound, an S, then that will tighten up those muscles also. Try to do it without actually making this sound, but you can just make it to know what muscles that I'm talking about. Or just try to shorten that string, engage right there, okay? So we're gonna do those 2 together. You're gonna flatten your back, pull your hip bones together. Now you can feel nice and tight tension around the middle of that soda can. Now you're gonna engage your pelvic floor. So that is the Kegel. If you've ever done Kegels before, that's exactly, you're going to pull up and in with that pelvic floor. I like to think about if you're trying to pick up a blueberry with your vagina, you're just gonna pull up and in. All right, can you guys do that? Pull it up and in. Some people like to think about it as zipping up. So you're gonna try to just zip, pull those lips together. Okay, so those 3 movements, and now we're gonna tie it with your breath. So the diaphragm, we want it to mirror your pelvic floor. So as you breathe in, your pelvic floor is relaxed. And then as you breathe out, that's when we want to engage that pelvic floor. Okay, so you breathe in, it's relaxed, and then you're going to flatten your back, pull your hips together, engage that pelvic floor, and breathe out. At first, if you just think of it a 1, 2, 3, then you can kind of get those movements down, and then hopefully eventually you'll get them together. So you're going to relax, take a deep breath in, back flat, hips together, pelvic floor, breathe out. Let's try 5 in a row. Ready? One more. Perfect. Okay, now that you got that abdominal brace down, we're going to use that with 5 exercises. First one is going to be a little march. So what you're going to do is as you breathe out with that abdominal brace, you're just going to lift one foot up, put it back down. Lift your other foot up, put it back down. All right, you ready? Deep breath in. Activate abdominal brace, breathe out. If you want, you can break it up, just do one at a time. So that would look like this. You relax, breath in, activate, and then you relax, breath in. Same thing on the other side, activate. All right, we'll do 3 on each side with just doing one at a time, and then we'll do 2 together, okay? Ready, relax, breath in, activate, now we'll do 2 doubles. Relax, breath in, activate, perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same type of exercise, but we're gonna do a different movement. Instead of just doing a march with your legs going up, we're gonna let your knee go out to the side and pull back up to the middle. So you're going to relax, take a breath in, activate, breathe out, let your leg come out, and then back up to the middle. Same thing on the other side, relax, breath in, activate, breathe out. Good. Let's see if we can do 3 on each side and then 2 doubles. All right, those 2 doubles. Relax, breath in, activate. 1 more double. All right, good. Now you might have noticed that it might have been a little bit more challenging to engage and keep that pelvic floor contraction throughout that movement than it was with the march. For some people it is, some people the march is more difficult. It's okay if you can't hold it the entire time, just try and keep practicing the exercise. Over time, your pelvic floor will strengthen and you'll be able to hold it longer throughout the full movement. Okay, so those were 2 that's really working on your abdominal bracing with some leg movement. Now we're gonna work on some body movement with that abdominal brace. So we're gonna do a bridge. So for the bridge, you're going to activate that abdominal brace first, and then you're gonna lift your hips up into the air and then slowly bring it back down. All right, let's try 5 of those. Breath in while you're relaxed. Back flat, pull those hips together, Kegel, breathe out as you lift. Nice, slow and controlled movement. 4 more. Relax, breath in. Last one. Awesome job. All right, so now that you've got some glute action and you're working that core a little bit more, we're gonna do a clamshell and reverse clamshell. So for this one, you're gonna turn onto your side. Now doing the abdominal brace here, you're not gonna have the floor to push your back into. So you're just going to do a small posterior pelvic tilt just so that your back feels flat, and you're going to keep it in that position. So you're going to relax, take that breath in, activate that core, back flat, hips together, Kegel, and then breathe out as you lift your knee. Good, let's do 5. 2. 3. 4. And 5. For this exercise, it's really important that you're not swaying your back. As you can see, I can sway my body. My leg doesn't have to do anything, but if I keep my body still, then it's the leg that's doing the movement. This is targeting your muscles on the outside of your hip. So that's where you should feel it after a while, and you're keeping your core engaged to keep your body straight. Now for the reverse clamshell, you're going to keep your knees together and lift your foot up into the air. You're gonna relax, take that breath in, activate abdominal brace, breathe out, lift your foot up. 4 more. Last one. All right, perfect. No, you can do that. Same thing on the other side as well. And then for the last exercise, we're actually going to do a sit to stand with that abdominal brace. Okay, so you can find a chair or your sofa or your bed, wherever you feel comfortable, and we're gonna work on using that abdominal brace to stand up. So you're going to relax, take your breath in, back flat, hips together, pelvic floor contraction, breathe out as you stand. Let's try 5 of those. Awesome. Were you able to hold that pelvic floor contraction throughout that full movement? It's okay if you couldn't. It will continue to strengthen and be easier the more you practice it. So I definitely recommend doing this every day, and it will start to build up and get stronger. Something else is that it'll be easier the higher you are. So if you have a high bed, maybe just start at the edge of your bed and work on that little movement. And then once that feels easy, you're able to hold that core, the abdominal brace throughout that full movement. Then start to a chair. You can add a cushion to raise you up a little bit. Slowly work your way down to like a couch is typically a little bit lower. And this is really important for, especially for new moms, if you're gonna be lifting your baby, if you're lifting your toddler, you want to use that abdominal brace to lift up anything that's heavy, and to make sure that there's no pressure that's escaping whenever you're lifting. So let's try working on these exercises, and I hope that you're able to feel more confident, less leaking, more stable and strong. You got this, mama.